This is Unboxing Board Games with Jesse. We're going to take a look at Forbidden Island. This is a cooperative game for 2 to 4 players, ages 10 and up. It's published by Gamewright Games. It's designed by Matt Leacock, who also did a popular cooperative game called Pandemic. This is a little lighter cooperative game than Pandemic is. Plays a little faster. Let's take a closer look at the components. The image on the cover of the box that you just saw is representative of the art that you're going to find in the game. This actually is the same artwork as the cover, and that's one of the things that I really like about this game is the component quality and the artwork and this metal embossed box that the whole game comes in. Looks kind of expensive component wise, but actually you can find this game for less than $20. I know it was a like a Cyber Monday special recently on Amazon, and with all the Cyber Monday specials going on, I think I heard price as low as $10, but typically you're going to find it for a little less than $20. You can find it at some of the bookstores now that are starting to carry more board games. You can find it at some comic book shops. They're starting to carry more board games, and certainly you can find it online, which is where I got my copy. In this game, you've got a set of adventures with different classes. You've got the pilot and the messenger, the navigator, the engineer, the explorer, and the diver. So the color of the pawn is going to determine unique ability that each team member has. There's 6 different classes or roles, but maximum of 4 players in the game. So there's always going to be a couple of classes that you're not using, and so that kind of also helps change up the variety of the game. Also, you'll be laying out these island tiles. These adventurers have stumbled across a island with ancient treasures on it, but there's a problem. The island is sinking. So you've got the adventurers that each start out on a tile that has their color in the corner, and they've landed by helicopter, and they're going to want to collect those 4 treasures by matching sets of cards that have the treasure's picture on them, and then arriving at the treasure location that has that treasure icon on it. So if I collected 4 cards with this fire treasure on there and wound up at a tile with the fire icon, there's 2 for each treasure. Then I can collect that treasure, and the team is going to have to collect all 4 treasures and wind up at the helicopter pad. Everybody's got to get there safely, and then fly away in the helicopter to win the game. The challenge comes when the island is sinking. So each turn, as indicated by this dial here, you can start out at different difficulty levels, but this is going to determine how many island tiles sink during each player's turn. So starting out at normal here, we're going to draw 2 of these island cards. Here's the Coral Palace, and so we're going to flip that over to a light blue to indicate that portion of the island got flooded, and it's underwater. And then we've got another card here, the Temple of the Sun. This looks like Jabba's palace to me. So we're going to flip over the Temple of the Sun also, which happens to be the tile next to it in this case. As the players are taking their turn, they may be moving along and decide that you don't want these tiles flooded, so he can take an action to shore up that island and restore it. Because what's going to happen later on in the game, you're going to be drawing your cards from the treasure deck, and these may be cards that you're looking for to gain matches, or they could be sandbags and helicopters that help you do different things in the game, but they could also be the dreaded Waters Rise card. The instructions are written for you on the card here nicely so that you don't have to look up in the rules booklet what happens when I draw this card. So following the instructions on the card, you're going to move this dial indicator up one notch, so now we're in more danger because we're going to be drawing 3 cards each turn instead of 2. So the island will start sinking faster and faster. If we make it all the way up, this dial indicator all the way up to the skull and crossbones, well, you know what that means. The game's over. Everybody dies. So as the waters are rising, you're gonna reshuffle the cards that we just drew and place them back on the top of the island deck. So the cards that sank are going to have a chance of coming up much sooner than any of these other island tiles. So the strategy of the players is going to have to be taking that into account if they still need access to those tiles in order to recover those treasures. And then lastly, the Island Rise card is going to get discarded on our treasure deck here. Later on, when the treasure deck runs out, things are going to get reshuffled. But basically, that's the game. Players get to take 3 actions, which would be moving around across the tiles and shoring up adjacent tiles if they need to be, and then drawing an appropriate number of flood cards or island cards according to this indicator here. The other thing that players can do is if they're on the same tile, then they can give cards to the other guy who's on the same tile for an action point, and that's going to allow the team to accumulate 4 cards of the same type more quickly and get that person who has the matching set over to the tile required to recover that treasure. So it's a pretty fun, light cooperative game. It's something that you can start out on this novice level and beat the game, but you find that that's too easy. You can always move the dial indicator up as you're starting out the game to give yourself more of a challenge. We played this over the holidays and didn't win our first game, but because it looks so cool with all the artwork and everything, and the gameplay is fun, everybody, even though we lost, we wanted to play it again. We played it again on the normal setting because it was the first time for some of the players. We beat the game the second time, but we can always go back and play it again on the expert level and give ourselves more of a challenge. So this is an inexpensive game with really nice artwork, nice component qualities. I highly recommend checking it out. That's Forbidden Island.